Hey everyone, I'm here today taking a look at this Dragon-I Velociraptor toy that came out around 2015 kind of time to tie in with the release of Jurassic World. And Dragon, they do a lot of kind of cheap knockoff dinosaur toys, different shapes and sizes, different monsters and things. But this one took my interest because it's got a real Kenner Jurassic Park Velociraptor vibe about it, even though it's not actually specifically based on any of those old moulds. Now, this has pretty basic articulation. The legs go forward and backwards, and you've got one arm that moves there, but the other arm is connected to an action feature where the eyes light up and it basically roars like a T-Rex. But you know, you can get, that's kind of a cool pose, getting it standing upright like that. So you have got a bit of a variety of poses, but really it's only designed to be in one pose. And that is this kind of stalking pose like that, which is something we've seen in a lot of the Mattel Velociraptors and Atrociraptors. They always release one that's posed like this. And I kind of wonder if they were influenced by this, if they saw this Dragon-I Velociraptor and decided to make some official Jurassic Park ones like this. And I know a lot of people aren't so keen on them, but I've always actually quite liked having one in a bit of a crouching pose like this, in a stalking pose. I think it adds a bit of variety when you've got a pack of them together, to have one in a very different pose to the others like this. Really looks good in group shots. It's kind of a shame that it's a T-Rex roar rather than a Velociraptor one. But I do kind of like the eyes lighting up strangely. And the mouth's articulated, that's not actually connected to the action features, you can just open and close that. The paint job on the teeth was a bit messy, but otherwise it's actually got a really nice paint job. All the nails are painted on the toes and the hands. Like, it's mainly a light green colour, but it's got a really nice fade to the darker green along the back there, as well as these kind of random black stripes that look a bit too random. I think if they were more in a uniform kind of stripy pattern it would look a bit better, but I still quite like this paint job. This is really nice, considering this is just a bit of a sort of cheap knockoff toy. I really like the way that the green is shaded and sort of fades along the back there, and it's just a nice colour Velociraptor in general. And here it is with the Jurassic Park Velociraptors from Kenner, and you can see what I mean. I mean, it fits in perfectly. You wouldn't really be able to tell that it's not an official Jurassic Park Velociraptor, really. And you see it's the head sculpt in particular that looks very Kennerish, kind of like that brown Velociraptor, but I think it's actually based more on the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor from Hasbro. See, that's that Jurassic Park 3 Raptor, and Hasbro were obviously trying to get a bit of a Kenner look with this, the way they've designed the head. But the sculpt of the head, I think, is the one that they used for this Dragon-I Raptor. It looks the closest to that, rather than the actual Kenner Velociraptors. Though, funnily enough, I think the Raptor, the Dragon Raptor, fits in better with the Kenner Velociraptors than the Hasbro one does. Hasbro really did a horrible job in general with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. They had the license for Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, and most of the toys they made were pretty bad. There were a few good ones. They did quite a nice T-Rex and a pretty cool Spinosaurus, but otherwise, oh man, they were a mess. Like this one, even though it's got the same head design as the Kenner one in terms of that kind of springy feature, it just looks a lot cheaper and like a cheap knockoff. It looks more like a cheap knockoff than the actual cheap knockoff. But I'm pretty sure it is this Jurassic Park 3 Raptor from Hasbro that they took the sculpt from for this Dragon-I version. It's kind of funny really that the knockoff version's better than Hasbro's attempts. And it's nice to have another Raptor, because I always feel like you've got to have 3 at least to make a pack. And I did get that Jurassic Park 3 one purely to try and put with the Kenner ones and build up a pack of 3, but it never quite fitted in, even though they were trying to get that style. The body looks a bit weird, and it just kind of, the head doesn't sit right, like the mouth always seems a bit wonky. So now I have a replacement for that Jurassic Park 3 Raptor. I can use this Dragon-I one, and they're pretty cheap to find on eBay. I mean, I paid like £5–6 for this one. It wasn't very expensive. I really feel this is where Mattel may have got inspiration for the Velociraptors that they make that are in this pose, because it's such a similar pose. It's almost identical, with the one hand flat down, the other hand in kind of a clawing pose. If we look at it this side, you can see this hand's in that clawing, just like the Mattel ones that are in this pose. But this came out a good like 3 or 4 years before Mattel made theirs. It's really quite a nice sculpt. You can see there's kind of holes there for the speaker, but otherwise it's pretty much as good a sculpt as we got from Kenner back in the day. So if anyone's looking to build up their Kenner Velociraptors, I'd really recommend this. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by it. I even like the light up eyes and the roaring features, kind of fun. So let me know what you guys think of this. You know, are you planning on buying it for your Kenner collection? Had you seen and heard of this before? Do you think it looks good with them? I'm pretty pleased with it. It's nice to get a new kind of Kenner dinosaur after all these years. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.